Hey guys, yesterday a bit busy yesterday, real busy actually. Had a double header at football yesterday, so didn't get back until around the card started around 6:30. So yeah, didn't want to upload a video just for the sake of it. Thought I'd do a post fight video and discuss some of the things that went on in the Frampton Quigg fight, the main event in Manchester for the IBF and WBA Super-bantamweight world titles. Yeah, I mean, first the scoring. The scoring, of course, we all know boxing scoring is very subjective. I personally scored it 1 round to Frampton. Um, I gave the first round a draw. I think that was a feeling out round. They were just kind of seeing what the other fighter had. Frampton took fight rounds 2 to 6, I think. I gave Quigg the seventh, which was another tight one. Um, and then Quigg dominated from, as I said, 7 to 11, and then Frampton at 12. I think Boxing Gossip gave the same scoring, so maybe says I'm not completely clueless in scoring, but yeah, we all have our own subjective scoring, but that's just how I scored it. And yeah, I know some people gave Frampton a wider margin. Shane McGuigan thought it was larger than 116, 112, which I disagree with. I thought when Quigg put it on Frampton, Frampton didn't really want it. Um, I mean, if Quigg pushed the pace earlier on, we know he has a great engine. He really could have troubled Frampton. Frampton didn't like it to the body, I don't think. He did wince once over to his corner. I think it was in the 10th or 11th when he got hit by a body shot by Quigg. Um, so, I mean, in a rematch, if a rematch does happen, Quigg can really bother him. I think he can grind him down for a hard fought points win if if he does that. I don't know if Frampton was tight at the weight, so maybe he felt the body shots a bit more or anything. But it did look like some of the body shots did bother him, and Quigg's pressure was relentless at times. So yeah, I mean, as I said, I digress, but I scored it 115, 114 Frampton. I thought the deserved winner won. The person who was supposed to win won. So no controversy there for me. I mean, I can see why one of the judges did score it for Quigg. The early rounds were there was nothing really in them. You could have scored maybe rounds 1 to 6, if anything, or 10 all. But it just depends on what you see and what you what you interpret in the fight. Corner work. I mean, Shane McGuigan. I didn't really hear him a lot in the corner. Maybe that's because Sky didn't really focus on him. But Joe Gallagher's corner work, mediocre at best. Wasn't really giving Scott the right advice for me. I think that the best bit of advice he actually gave him was when he said Sky had Carl 6-1 up after 7 rounds, which was which kind of demonstrates the poor corner work by Joe Gallagher for the recently rated number one trainer by the Ring TV magazine um, to give that kind of advice in the fight. That's really poor. I mean, considering he has three world champions, he has Liam Smith, Andy Crawler, and Scott Quigg. Um, that's really poor. I mean, I he probably cost Scott Quigg part of the fight on just because of tactics. Really, like he gave him the wrong advice. He only told him he was down after 7 rounds. You know, you tell your fighter down when you're 3, 4 rounds down into the fight, not 7 rounds into the fight, and half of the fight's gone. That's just my opinion, obviously. I'm not saying Scott Quigg should get a new trainer. I just think Joe Gallagher should look at this, look back on tape, and think, okay, what do we do wrong? Give better advice. And it's not just Scott Quigg; it will happen with many of his other fighters later, and it's happened prior as well. It happened with Liam Smith against John Thompson when he won the vacant WBO junior middleweight title. John's Tom, uh, John Thompson was outboxing him for much of the fight. And Liam Smith came later on in the fight and ended up with a stoppage win. But maybe that was again tactics by Joe Gallagher. Of course, Smith got the win there, but it's the same sort of scenario, and you don't want that sort of fight. This Frampton Quigg very much reminded me of Eubank, Chris Eubank Jr. and Billy Joe Saunders um, for the British Commonwealth and European middleweight titles. Um, I mean, Quigg didn't do anything for the first 6 rounds, kind of like how he did against Salinas, almost how Eubank did it up until round 5, and then he came in round 6 and then dominated the end of the fight. Obviously, Saunders nicked a couple of rounds here and there, and so did Frampton. That's why he won the fight. But they kind of match up in that sort of arena and environment in terms of how the fight panned out, uh, and we didn't expect the fight to be accordingly, and how it was supposed to, how it actually went. We thought it would go a completely different way. Quigg would put on relentless pressure throughout the whole fight. I think he was wary about Frampton's power, and Frampton was wary about Quigg's power, but it was at times too tense, if you ask me. Um, where they go from here now, it's tough. I mean, that's the thing I want to focus on a bit more. I know, obviously, now Frampton's the winner. He has two mandatories. One is Guillermo Rigondeaux, mandatory to the WBA title. He's facing Jazza Dickens in a week or two's time in the UK. So that's his WBA mandatory defense. His IBF mandatory defense is Shingo Wake, and so there's a distinct possibility that he could get stripped by one of the sanctioning bodies. And yeah, I mean, of course, you don't want to see someone stripped. He's fought a top fighter in his division, probably the number 3 fighter in his division, to win another belt. Of course, Rigondeaux's the lineal champion and the ring rated number 1. But I mean, for me, can Frampton cause him problems? Yes, but like I said, I mean, that was it. As I was thinking, I wasn't overly impressed by Carl Frampton yesterday. There was a few holes in his game. I think a really wily Rigondeaux can exploit it. I know he's small for Super Bantam, but I think he can beat him, comfortably. I'd say 8 rounds to 4, possibly something like that. Uh, Frampton has good power. He could knock him out. Obviously, Rigondeaux's been knocked down twice by Amagasa, and maybe a few other times here and there. But I don't. I'm not as confident in Frampton as I was prior to him beating Kiko Martinez the first and second time for the first European and then the second IBF world title. He looked devastating there. He beat Cazares. He beat Avalos. He beat a lot of solid operators. And I thought, okay, maybe he could beat Rigondeaux. He could give him a lot of trouble. I think he could still give him a bit of trouble, but not as much as I initially thought. Quigg, where he goes from here, I mean, he's massive for super bantamweight. It looks like he can still make the weight, but I don't know. Could he go after Nonito Donaire? Possibly. That's the other belt. He could also go after Hugo Ruiz, who regained his WBC super bantamweight title, beat Julio Ceja in the first round. So that's another route he can go. There's 2 routes there. If not, he could go for the rematch with Frampton, which would make huge money. If not, he can move to featherweight, and there's big fights for him at featherweight. UK fights with Lee Selby, sorry, Josh Warrington, those sort of people. They could be on the radar. If not, Leo Santa Cruz international fight. Uh, Gary Russell Jr. if he does want to stay and relocate ever so slightly in the States. We know he goes to train in the Wildcard gym with Freddie Roach. So if an opportunity arises in America, he could take that. And yeah, there's options for both of them. A rematch would seem the smart move for both of them. Of course, Frampton's got some mandatory, so it might take, you know, 12 months, maybe 18 months to get a rematch going, especially with the two mandatories if he doesn't have to drop one belt. And if not, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom can get Quigg another fight uh, down a different route at super bantamweight and try and go for unification again. As I said, I do think Quigg can beat him in a rematch. If he steps on the gas a bit earlier, give him a bit of trouble, more trouble than he was in this fight yesterday. But I mean, it's I don't see either of them troubling Rigondeaux. As I said, um, if anything, they're probably better off moving up to featherweight and making something happen there. But as I said, we'll see. The management will sort that out, and hopefully we can get the fight going again. Big UK fight, possibly even at a bigger stadium fight, maybe in the summer, maybe next year, or a big arena, bigger than 20,000. Partisan in the Manchester Arena yesterday. Looked like a great atmosphere. So yeah, hopefully we can get it going again, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Good future for both. Quigg lost, but comes out with a lot of credit. Done a lot of things that might have surprised people. Had a lot of good head movement, a lot of good upper body, sorry, and lateral movements. So yeah, it shows he's not some one-dimensional fighter, and he can do different things. Should have used the jab more probably, but yeah, he can do a few different things, and he probably did surprise a few people. He did surprise me ever so slightly as well. And yeah, things are looking up for both, and maybe hotting up slightly in the super bantam weight division, and even the featherweights also. Uh, yeah, guys, comment your thoughts on the fight. How do you think? What do you think? What happened next with these two super bantams? If they move up, if they don't, what happens? What routes they go down? Possible rematch or whatnot? And anything else within the division or anything else you want to speak about, please do let me know. Like and leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Subscribe and share so it gets through to a wider boxing audience. And yeah, I'll catch you guys soon. And yeah, peace.